This video is sponsored by MPB.
It's cold today, really cold, like -6, -7, something like that, I think. And I say I think, I know, I saw the forecast, but with the wind chill, feels, I don't know, maybe double that. Is it double or half? How'd you say it when you get into minus temperatures? Not sure. Anyway, I'm at a park in Brooklyn where there are lots of dog walkers around, which is kind of cool as silhouettes, but I'm shooting this scene because I like to include kind of everyday stuff, particularly when you're shooting in kind of world famous cities, places like that, because it adds a bit of everyday life, I guess, which isn't always represented in the photography you see from places like this. So I think it's interesting. Maybe not, I might completely change my mind when I see the shots, but I'm enjoying standing here, aside from the cold.
I imagine you want some context. No problem at all, I'll give you some context on two fronts. Number one, the word updog is written on my camera, as you might have noticed. That is because a couple of weeks back in a video I made reference to the fact that I no longer wanted the word Leica on my camera, as was the case for most of last year, and I asked for 5-letter suggestions of a new word that could be on my camera all of this year. And the winner is the word camera, which I'm just making a label for now. But one of the other suggestions was updog, which I thought would be a fun thing to have on my camera while I was spending a week in New York. Unfortunately though, in 7 days, not a single person asked me the question.
Was it me, or does it smell like updog in here?
What's up, Doc?
Nothing much. What's up with you?
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that was very disappointing. There we go, don't know if you can see that, that's the word camera spelt wrong. Now a bit more context. Last week, obviously, I was in New York taking photos and getting some video stuff done. And over the course of the next few videos, I'll show you some of the photos that I took in New York. But today, alongside showing you some of those photos, I wanted to talk about a subject which has been, well, discussed for what feels like millennia. And it's this thing of, does gear matter? And having spent the best part of 2 years now looking for a fun camera, and having tried Leicas, Ricos, Fujis, Lumix, Hasselblad, basically all kinds of cameras, I've come to the conclusion that yes, gear does matter, it really matters, but not in the way that most people think. And I shall use this terrible diagram to illustrate this idea. That said, in case this is incredibly boring, let me show you some photos of New York first.
I'd say much the same thing about this yard as the goalpost. It's good to have it as a juxtaposition to the madness of Manhattan in the background. Trouble is, from here you just got to wait for the steam to clear out the way of the Empire State. I've got time though. So this is Domino Park, and in my head I was going to stay here for a while, try and get some shots of people passing through. I thought that would be quite nice, but as I rocked up, there was a couple just staring at the sun, enjoying the, I was going to say warmth, that is far too strong a word, but yeah, I don't think it's going to get better than that, so I can move on. Might be time for a coffee. Well, this morning has definitely had a bit of a theme, but I think that might be the best of the lot. The school buses, the normalcy in the foreground, and then the skyline in the background with, in this case, the World Trade Center. I think that looks great. This is kind of a fun spot. These containers look like they're here kind of permanently because there are street lights hooked up to them. I don't know if that's the case, but I like the colour.
Right, now, to make my point, as I said, I'm going to use this diagram. But essentially what this shows is that a camera has two jobs, in my opinion. And do you know what, I'm going to put this down. So, I think most of the time when we've had this debate as a community, most people's focus when it comes to how much a camera matters has been on image quality. And there's no problem with that really. I mean, luckily now in 2024, I think we're in a place where most people, even pixel peepers, concede that more resolution, more dynamic range, better low light performance, all these things, sure, in some instances are nice to haves. But these are not things that are going to make bad photos good or even good photos great. They're things that might make incremental tiny improvements to good photos, but they're not going to push the needle that much. And we can see that because most of the celebrated work that's been shot over the past however many decades, the vast majority of it was not taken using the best modern kit. But image quality, or the production of a result, is just one of a camera's jobs. And it's a very short job. I mean, it's the time between pressing the shutter and ending up with a result. But a camera's first job is basically everything before you press the shutter. So how comfortable is a camera to have around your neck all day? How comfortable is it to hold all day? What's the button placement like for your hands? What's the menu system like? How much do you enjoy using the camera? How much does it inspire you to get out the house? How much are you willing to go and shoot with this thing when the conditions aren't good? How much does it frustrate you? How much does it get in the way of the results that you want? How well built is it? How many times have you dropped it on rocks? How much does it feel like an extension of your mind's eye? There's probably more. I just can't think of any. The point is, for the past couple of years or so at least, I have been trying to find a camera that I love to use because I really, really value this section of stuff that a camera is responsible for before you press the shutter. And in an indirect way, I think it has a really big impact on the work that you produce because it can have an influence on how inspired you are to go out and shoot. Which is why when I mentioned recently that I've started enjoying shooting with my Sony a7R because I've been using these small little lenses, it's why that feels like a big deal to me, because I know that it's important that I really enjoy the camera that I'm shooting with because it will have an impact on the work that I make. Anyway, I think I've waffled on for long enough. Do remember this, please. Just for the incredible artistic skill, more than anything else. But yes, a camera has two jobs. Anyway, regardless of the camera that you think is right for you, I would suggest that you look for it on MPB if you're in the market for a new one. And over the past couple of years, I have saved thousands by buying used. And if you're going to buy used, I think MPB is by far the best place to do it, because everything that you buy comes with a 6-month warranty and everything has been checked meticulously by experts before it gets anywhere near the website. So whether it's a new camera, another lens, a tripod, a bag, a drone, whatever it might be, make sure that you check MPB first. And I also think, incidentally, it's the best place to sell camera gear as well, because you don't have to deal with any of the faff that you usually have to selling online. I'm talking potential buyer questions, shipping concerns, fees, disputes, insurances, all of the headaches that come with selling equipment MPB takes care of it all. So if you're interested in buying or selling used camera gear, check out MPB. And a big thank you to them for their continued support of this channel. Fantastic sponsor. I'll see you next week when I'll be in New York again. Not going a second time, but you know what I mean. Footage and a video from that trip. So yeah. Actually, next week is something a little bit different. So looking forward to that. I'll see you then. Thank you.